Matt, just talk about I know you address the offensive line on media, but just talk about what they've got to do to come together during training camp.
Well, I think the starters obviously have to prove that they can communicate, they can work together, that we can, number one, run the football and protect PJ and kind of dominate the line of scrimmage. So there's a lot of guys that haven't played a ton. They just have to understand what it takes to do that for 60 minutes. And I think we really need some guys that run the twos to fight for jobs and to step up. You know what I mean? And so we have some depth. We had an addition to the roster yesterday, Jalen Robinson, reported. So that gives us, another offensive lineman. So we now have 15 guys in camp, which is good. But we just need, some depth where if you get a guy banged up or two, you have some other guys that can go in there and help play well. So it's obviously one of the main areas of focus for us.
Talk about Shabazz. I mean, it's kind of emblematic of your situation. A guy goes from defense to the offense and puts on 40 pounds. Kind of just shows, the flux of the line, state of flux.
Yeah, there's two things to that. Usually most of the great offensive linemen that are in the NFL usually started as tight ends or fullbacks or defensive linemen, get bigger, and then you have a really athletic guy. Shabazz is no exception. He's extremely, extremely athletic, and he's really, really smart and conscientious. So for him, it's just about getting a feel for it. He's strong enough. He's big enough. He was already moved. He was already putting on weight anyway because his body's kind of hitting that point in his life where he's getting bigger, and he's just letting himself go a little bit, eating maybe an extra slice of pizza or something. Right. So, but I think he's got all the tools, and it's just about him getting a feel for exactly how to do this.
And talk about, I know that Kyle has obviously gotten a lot of attention. Just talk about his role as a leader, guys like Lofton just following around him and just.
I think there's two parts to it. Number one is he sets the tone for the way we communicate. Making sure we're all on the same page. So when you have an experienced guy there, the less experienced guys can follow him on the field. And then the way he carries himself, he's like one of our coaches. He's a grown man. He's accountable. He's disciplined. He's tough. He's smart. He takes care of his body. So all those other young offensive linemen or guys like Lofton that are really hitting their stride, they could just do what Kyle does. Follow him. And if you do what he does, then you're probably going to be doing the right thing. And so we have a really good group in that regard. They're all doing the right things because of the leadership of Kyle and some other guys.
Man, what did you see out there today?
Oh, well, it was really, really intense, which is good. We have a lot of guys that we're trying to figure out, can they play for us this year or not? For freshmen, we're trying to figure out, does this guy need a red shirt or not? So I thought it was really, really, really intense, which is a step in the right direction for us. So, it's pretty clean, too. I mean, not a lot of penalties, not a lot of turnovers. At the end, I thought they finished well. It looked like we kicked the ball right at the end in the field goal period. So I was pleased with the way it felt on the field. Now I have to go up and watch the tape and see exactly where we are. But
how important are these first few days of camp in general?
Well, we can't waste a day. I mean, we're not in a position to waste a day. And more importantly, we're just trying to kind of build our brand of who we are, what it means to be a Temple Owl. We want to play like the Temple Owls. And so, the young guys, the guys who have, had 2 years in the system, now it's their turn to step up. This is their time to really, step up and say, hey, this is my brand, this is who I am, and live up to it for the rest of camp. So I think these days are vital.
We spoke a lot about Cleve Urban in the past few days. What have you seen out of him for the first few days?
He's been fantastic. Cleve's been fantastic. He's been dynamic. He's been explosive, competitive, and the other guys are matching his intensity level. So Cleve's really, really fun to have out there on the field.
What have you seen from Alex Wells? I mean, the guy was studying junior college, and now he's walking.
He had a great spring. I don't know how good of a fall he's having yet. I got to go up and watch today's tape. He's being challenged. We have some guys. Nate L. Smith is looks like he's ready to start playing for us. He's really focused. He's physical. The last play of the team period, he knocked the ball out. So Alex is. Nate L's ready to play, and Adebayo, Romare, he's ready to play. And so there's some guys that want to play back there. The two freshmen came in, Jaquise Thomas and Shamir Bierfield. They've got a lot of talent. So there's 6 safeties, including Lovett and Will Hayes, that all think they're going to start, which is exactly what we wanted. So Wells has to prove that he can do it, all through camp.
How fluid are you in that secondary? I mean, I know you have Roby, but where else are you?
And Roby's still banged up. Sean Chandler, the freshman, we put him with the ones today. So, we're going to keep rotating guys through. Jahad Thomas went with the ones today. Tavon went, So we're gonna try to build that secondary and have as much depth as possible because number one, we know we're gonna have injuries. Number two, we're playing Houston, playing East Carolina. We'll probably have 4 corners and we'll have 6 guys on the field anyway. So we've got to just really build that group up, and I think that they're competing, which is good.
What is Roby's injury?
He had a sports hernia, which is like an ab muscle, and so right now he's doing individual and one-on-ones, but he's not able to do any team periods yet. We'll try to bring him along slow.
Okay. Any time frame with him, maybe?
I don't know. The surgery was a long, long time ago, but it's just it's had a couple setbacks, but he's fighting as best he can.
What do they have to,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
what do they have to do to gel? I mean, first week, week or two of camp, it's a very young group, and obviously it's an important part of the team. What do they do now to gel for me?
Which part, Joe?
The secondary.
The secondary. Well, I think number one is the demands we have, in the practice, the way we practice, and how difficult things can be. It was a hot day, and I think anytime everybody has to go through a common struggle, you have a tendency to come together. When practices are easy and everybody's happy-go-lucky, you have a tendency to kind of worry about yourself. But we're trying to make it hard enough that they're all being forced to gel together. So, and I think a lot of those guys in that group, a lot of those guys kind of, after last season and the things they went through, I think a lot of them already recognize, hey, sometimes all you have is each other, so let's stick together. So it's a good team in that regard. They've stuck together, all last year, through the spring, summer, into this fall.
The wide receivers, anybody really made an impression so far?
Jalen and JC and Khalif, they're proven. We know Nate Hairston has done some really good things. Brandon Shipman's done some really good things. But I think the biggest thing is Matt Eaton, I thought, had a really good day. The true freshman, he's in the mix trying to prove that he can start for us and play for us. And he was good today. It's just the freshmen. It's really a matter of who can keep their legs underneath them. Who's still running fast in a week. Everyone's got juice right now. Come back in a week, and when camp feels like it's never going to end, and you're not sure what day it is, and see who's got juice then. But there's enough guys in that position that everyone understands. We know we can't. We have 16 wide receivers in camp. We can travel late, so half the room can't come. So everyone's competing to make sure that when it's their turn to get reps, they play well.
I talked to PJ this week. He said he was really impressed with his work ethic. Next PJ to go throw at night. He said told the story about how he saw him doing sit-ups in the hallway. He was moving fast. Do you see that kind of work ethic?
I haven't seen that because I haven't been in the dorms yet. I get the sense that he's a worker, but so far on the practice field he has. But again, I'm just waiting to see what he feels like when he gets hit, gets banged. We haven't even put the leg. Tomorrow we go full pad, so it'll be interesting to see who's really about this life, who really wants to do this, and who wants to be on the team. So I'm hoping Matt's one of those guys.
And Matt, back to Roby's injury real fast. When did he have the surgery? Whereabouts?
Right after the season, so it's just one of those things that just has a slow healing.
How much does that change? How much more does it put on PJ's shoulder when the offensive line is as fluid as it is?
Yeah. I mean, I think it puts a lot of pressure on really everybody in terms of figuring those guys out. There's a lot of pressure on Kyle, to be quite honest. But I also know that PJ's he's ready for the challenge. I think he's been very, very, very focused this camp. Connor's been really, really focused. The two freshmen know what they're doing. And Timmy DeGiorgio, who was doing this for a year, when he gets in there, he knows what he's doing. So 5 quarterbacks are so far playing at a high level, which is really good for us, obviously, because we know it's going to take a village to get to a season.